All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Executive Committee meeting of Community Board 7. I will start with reading the committee guidelines. Good evening. My name is Barbara Stronzer, and I'm chair of the Executive Committee. And this is Bronx Community Board 7. As of October, Governor Kathy Hochul signed into law Chapter 417 of the laws of 2021, which authorizes the community board to run this meeting remotely, and minutes will be taken for record keeping. The minutes will appear on our website within days and can be requested from Bronx CB7 staff at any time. If you are calling into the meeting, the controls are as follows. To hear all available commands, enter ** on your phone, *6, mute or unmute yourself, *9, virtually raise your hand. We will run this meeting as follows. Bronx Community Board 7 has the right to remove or ask a member of the public to leave a meeting or block participation of anyone who engages in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene or offensive images or language, personal attacks, threats, or any other behavior that reasonably impedes the orderly administration of the meeting. Repeated offenses will be reviewed by the board's executive committee or any other assigned committee for a ban. The amount of time to be objectively determined by that committee of the participant in the event of repeated disruptive behavior. If in-person outbursts or attacks continue, this will be considered disturbing the peace and the authorities will be summoned. All right. Everyone beside the speaker or the presenter will stay muted throughout the meeting. After each presentation is over, I will inquire if committee members have questions. Committee members will signify that they have a question by pressing the raised hand button on the screen or requesting to speak through the chat or when the chair opens the floor. Only those recognized by the chair of the committee will be allowed to speak during the allotted time. We will stay on topic with agenda items. Any other items will be acknowledged by the chair in new business or addressed at the next meeting. Granted, there is time and the committee agrees on the topic. Following the questions, discussion, the committee will begin their discussion after each presentation, agenda item, and will conclude with the decision to vote on a recommendation. When the agenda is finished, the meeting will be adjourned. If there are any questions related to the meeting software or to our process, please use the chat function or raise hand function or contact the district manager. Okay, so the next item I believe is attendance. All right, let me see if I can get that up. Okay, share the screen. All right, Barbara Stronzer is here. Eric Asensio.
Eric Asensio present.
Thank you. Betty Arce.
Betty Arce present.
Yahira Arias.
Yahira Arias present.
Thank you. Michelle Avila. I'll get that right one of these days, Michelle. Go ahead.
Michelle Avila present.
Okay, thank you. Andrew Leosa. Andrew? I saw his number on.
Andrew Leosa present.
Okay, thank you. Edgar Ramos.
Edgar Ramos present.
Okay. Lourdes Acosta.
Lourdes Acosta present.
Thank you. Chad Royer.
Chad Royer present.
Thank you. And Victor Saldana. Victor? Okay. All right, we do have a quorum, which is good. All right, the next item will be the minutes from last month's meeting. I'll try to get that up. All right. I will scroll through them slowly. If anybody has any comments, changes, deletions, please let me know as we go through. Okay. Talked about the Kingsbridge Armory. All right, and then it was time for the budget discussion, changes, if any, and additions. All right, any comments on the minutes from last month's executive meeting? All right, do we have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I move to accept the minutes as presented.
Okay,
I
thank you.
second. I second.
All right, everybody in agreement on that?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. Okay, good. All right, we'll move the agenda then. The district manager isn't here with us tonight. Carla, do you have anything that you would like to say?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right, chairperson's update. All I would like to say is I thank everybody for their cooperation over the last, I guess, since last March. I didn't expect to be your interim person for quite this long, but things happen. And considering the election we are having tomorrow night, both of the candidates are on our executive committee. And whoever gets elected, we will have another opening to be filled until June. And then all the positions will be up for election this June. So I will, once we get the voting done and we get the count, whether it's the second vice chair position or the secretary's position, I will announce that we will take nominations at our December meeting. So be prepared for that and think about it. Somebody may be interested. Okay, we'll move on to the motions. Does any committee have a motion for tomorrow night's meeting? Anyone? All right, I guess not. Carla, are you aware of any motions that have come through on anybody's minutes?
No, I think it was there were no motions in November.
Okay,
I don't support.
all right, so we'll move on to new business, and that's our capital outlay budget, expense budget. Eric or Yahira, who's going to handle that?
I will. So I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Okay,
1 second.
Do you want to do the committee reports before
what do
that?
you, I could do that if you would prefer that.
That way we can just concentrate on the budget after.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we'll move on then to committee reports. We'll start with Andrew, Budget, Personnel, and Ethics. Andrew, you're on.
Technically, the committee met on Tuesday, November 8th, and we devoted the entire meeting to discuss the fiscal year 23 capital and expense report. We did not have time to address the attendance issue. We will address it at the next month's committee meeting.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Education, Youth, and Libraries. Lurs, you're on.
Yes, good evening, everybody. So we did not meet in October, but we hope to meet this upcoming Wednesday. I hope to have a quorum, and also I'll have an update on the Clinton High School pool and just their needs. I was able to meet with their assistant principal last week, so I'll share some updates there, and I'll have a representative from Eric Dinowitz's office to share a bill which we hope to make a motion out of that. It's an IEP bill, so stay tuned, and I guess I'll present that at the next executive staff meeting.
Okay, good, very good. Thank you. All right, environment and sanitation, Betty?
We didn't meet, so you can go ahead. We did not meet this time. And I'm not sure if we're gonna meet in December. We're still debating that issue.
Okay,
But any kinds of updates or whatever, I will share with the staff to then be able to disseminate to the public, to the community, and to community board members.
the mayor spoke about a new program,
Yes,
sanitation. Do you think it'll be coming our way?
Sure, well, I'm looking at it. I'm having discussions with Steve Caruso on that one.
Good.
I'm gonna share the press release because it provides more details with actually monies, but how that money is going to be disseminated and where. And I wanted to find out if Steve will be prepared to be able to discuss it any further than what has already been put out in the press release. If not, then we'll wait until January to then have a full discussion on it and see how it affects us. It
Okay.
looks good. It looks like it, there are it has some remedies, but at the same time, I'm still concerned that it doesn't address a lot of where the issues are, but it's a good start. He's obviously been pressured by communities throughout the 5 boroughs on the issue of sanitation, the relationship to the proliferation of rats, the population that has exploded. And so I think he's trying to address it in different kinds of ways, which is good. I'm very glad that that's happening. So.
Okay, good, thank you. All right, Health and Human Services, Michelle?
Barbara, our committee hasn't met this month. We expect to meet later this week.
Okay, thank you. All right, Housing, Land Use and Economic Development, Eric?
We had a presentation from Kingsbridge Together, who are working with EDC to get ideas about the Kingsbridge Armory. They spoke about the workshop that happened last November 5th, and they're going to be coming back in December to talk to us about some findings about it.
Okay, thank you. Parks, Recreation and Cultural Affairs, we are working on our annual tree lighting. We had one prep meeting with Carla, and we'll have a second before we reach the date of December 8th at 6 o'clock, and hopefully everyone will be there. Okay, we'll move on. Victor, did he come on? Not yet, okay. So we have Traffic and Transportation with Edgar.
Good evening. We had a presentation from DOT in reference to the expansion of the car share program. I guess there's 10 locations they're adding within the CB7, 2 being from the current car share company, and there's supposed to be an addition of 8 more locations. Each location will be 2 cars. So that's, I guess, 20 cars between the two applications. We also had a presentation from someone about changing the direction of a street off of Decatur Avenue. And TD11 wasn't able to make it because of Monday was his day off. I meant to hit him up to let him know that we would be meeting on that Monday, just as a reminder. But he said he'd be there for our December meeting, whether it's in person or it's online, and that if there were any pending questions, to just let him know, and he would try to get an answer to us, or at least be prepared with something for the December meeting. That's basically it.
All right, thank you. Veterans Affairs, Chad?
Hi, good evening, everyone. So our meeting is going to be scheduled the day after our general meeting, which will be the 16th. We have a speaker who is going to talk about women's advocacy for women's veterans. And I'm also excited to hear that we may end up having our flagging event at the Bronx Victory Memorial on November 19th, which is this Saturday at 11 a.m.
Okay. Is that definite, Chad, for Saturday?
Barring any, well, Carla, you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. So Saturday looks good, right?
Yes, it's 100% a go. It's
Okay.
happening.
All right, good. Thank you. All right,
But
so
I'm sorry, what time is it? Will it be at?
11.
11.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, is Myrna here for the ad hoc bylaws committee? All right, I believe she's meeting this Thursday at 6:30, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All right, we've been through all the committees, so we will move back to the budget. Eric or Yahira, whoever would prefer to do it.
Okay, I'll start it off, Eric. So I'm gonna share my screen just so that everybody see this.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody on this committee should have gotten this document. I kind of just put it in a Word form, and I mean, it's shifted a little bit because I'm using Google Doc now, but everybody should have gotten this, and I try to move down priorities as we discuss. So I try to piece them wherever I could. And I think this was just the best way to get it to you guys to see it easily. So as you can tell, priorities are listed here on the side, and then the request and the explanation next to it.
Okay.
I thought that would just be an easier way to, get that document more easier to read.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Do we want to go through these just to make sure, I mean, what do we want to do with this? Because I understand that we need to finalize this budget tonight so that it can, and then
this is the capital, which we did.
okay,
Okay.
This is the capital part.
that's right, yeah.
So this is part one. So I just made it easier so everybody can read it versus the Excel sheet.
Mhm.
Made notes and things like that. So I just made it into a Word document so that everybody can see easily where everything fits
Got it.
to the capital. So tomorrow we can start off with this document if we want, and then work into the expense.
Okay, when you say tomorrow, you mean at the public hearing?
Public hearing, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I think it's just easier to read for people instead of us going through this.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so now we're gonna go into expense. So this is where we left off. And I think it was just more of the issues of, and Eric, correct me if I'm wrong. We are just now prioritizing the expense because we already got everybody's response.
Yes.
So now it's just a matter of prioritizing the same way we did last week.
Got it.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay, so priority number one for the expense. We're seeing funding to promote existing programs that address chronic disease prevention. Do we still want to make this a number one?
I don't think we need to. I think it could move further down.
Okay, Andrew?
I'm sorry, not too far down because I don't like the fact that these kids are getting sick. A lot of kids are having these congestion issues with breathing, and it's kind of sad to see. There are hospitals that are being overwhelmed with the amount of children that are going in. So I think this is something that's still something we should be looking out for. Granted, like you said, Michelle, not top priority, but it shouldn't go too far down.
So,
I agree, Edgar. If it could stay in the top 3 or 5, I'd feel comfortable with that.
Okay.
so do we want to, because it makes specific reference to obesity and diabetes, and you're raising, Edgar, the issue of respiratory illnesses. We want to make a connection in here as well that we know that hypertension or obesity or these kinds of things can contribute to the kinds of conditions where children in particular are getting, or do we want to add something there about the asthma rate or something like that in this particular one so that we keep it up in the, top 3 or 4 of priority issues?
Well, it's not asthma, right? What the kids are getting, it's like a
No,
flu.
it's that RS, I forget, RSVN. I'm not
Right.
sure. Yeah.
RSV, I think don't we have a separate request on infectious diseases?
I don't know, do we?
We did.
I
Oh,
thought we did, yeah. Eric, do you
That was
mind
related
looking at
to,
that? Yeah,
it was related to COVID at the time.
okay, so there is someplace else where,
Else that it's
but
included.
this is also still important because this is the whole issue of obesity and diabetes. It's been a chronic issue. COVID and RSV are more recent, somewhat connected, but this is still an ongoing issue because of the conditions under which a lot of our people live. This is a more prevalent kind of
Okay,
disease.
so we all agree that it should stay in the top, anywhere between the top 5.
Right,
Yeah.
correct.
good.
Okay, number 2, and
Wait, Andrew has his hand up.
Andrew?
Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, I brought this up last time. So bring it up again. This is a public document that anybody in New York City will reference, our elected officials, the community. And I brought this up last time. I think that the number one priority for both expense and capital should be some reference weaved into this of the development of the Kingsbridge Armory, which is a once in a lifetime event. It will affect generations to come. And I would love for this board to be on record as recognizing that the development of the Kingsbridge Armory is the number one issue in our community.
Andrew, I'm sorry, I wasn't at the last meeting where you brought this up. In terms of listing it as a priority, I'm in agreement. However, is there an expense associated with it? Because I thought we were making the request here very specific to like budget items. So was there a specific program or source of funding that we wanted to connect the development of the armory to?
Well, let me jump into that. The Armory request and information brought up by Andrew, we put it in as other. It's in the last page of the capital.
Okay, that's
There,
good.
it's listed there. We've made a reference to it. It is there. Aside from the Armory, and as much as I love to see it, we also have other issues in this district. So
Can we make a statement perhaps at the meeting tomorrow just to?
However, we did feel that the what you sent us, Andrew, was more of a statement and not a budget request.
correct.
Good. Yes,
So the statement
So
is,
we need to either clarify it or make it better if you really want to include it, but because of the time constraint, we didn't really look into it.
And I thought Andrew was going to prepare something.
Right, so what he sent was very, had no attachment to our budget request, but if we want to look at the Excel under the housing, I do have a few items in relation to the Armory, so if we want to read those and make that priority, one of those priority number 1 and edit those, we can.
okay.
I think that sometimes
There
our
is also
government-
attached to this document a whole essay that goes in the front of the document. If you want to take a look and make a statement in there about it, that would be also.
Yeah, I think that would be a great place to put it.
that should be the place.
Yes,
Because it's a statement, it's not a request.
a request.
Happening.
Right.
It's happening. It's already funded. There's money allocated to it. It's happening. It's just, we want to go on record saying that we support it and
Support,
we
exactly.
need to go forward. So,
So for example, this one that's highlighted here, invest in infrastructure that will support the growth of commercial business district. That's a capital
Right.
expense
Right.
for EDC. So this is what I have written. We can expand on it. I know this is a capital, but the other two are expense. So if we want to take a look at the, however you guys want to feel it should be.
No, and even the one, I think even the one just before it, the bid one, that one also, Eric. She's also a Kingsbridge Army, but I think I like the idea of putting it in the preamble or whatever, the statement.
Right, the introduction. part.
Overarching that, you know, a major development or something major that's happening in our community board, you know, and we support it, we'll be following up on it, you know. We want to be, you know, partner with what's going on, that kind of statement, I think is important, that it is a priority overarching everything that we're requesting in our budget request. Is that something?
Right, so do any of these look like something we wanted to include in the budget expense? The first one and the last one are related to expense.
What are you asking?
Want to
Eric? I
zoom
mean,
in a little bit, Jahara, so people can read it a little better? Okay.
what are you asking, Eric?
So in this one, it's about conduct a bid feasibility analysis to support the bid formation, right?
Right,
It is necessary to support a creation of a bid in the commercial corridor along Kingsbridge Road to prevent tenant displacement and harassment. I mean, we could add a little bit more to this in terms of that redevelopment.
Right, there is no bid there now?
no,
There's a tenant association, a merchant association, for what I understand.
So maybe we should indicate that maybe we need to help strengthen, we need a bid in order to strengthen the, you know, whatever is there, trying to, you know, the Merchants Association, and provide it more support through the creation of a bid. You know, there's gotta be something there. But I think this is helpful because I know we had this issue when the ice rink was being considered and there was already landlords moving to displace and a lot of some of the commercial businesses by raising, you know, the rents outrageously, stuff like that. So I think that, yeah, we need to protect.
Yeah, just a heads up, I was talking to the owner of the flower shop that's next to the diner on Jerome, across the street from McDonald's. The lady had a lot of problems. They still haven't gotten her a lease. You know, they helped a little with the heating and stuff like that, but they still on a month-to-month thing, because it's like they're waiting for the floodgates to open at the Armory and then raise all these people's rents, which isn't fair.
So maybe, yeah.
Even with Evie's help, because Evie's from the Kingsbridge, the Northwest Bronx Clergy and Coalition. Yeah, she's been helping them, and like I said, they've had no movement on a lease for a lot of those businesses, and that property kind of starts on Jerome, but it follows all the way up Kingsbridge.
Well, so a bid or something like that might be helpful. I mean, what you're talking about, Edgar, I think is not a budget request, but it's definitely we're gonna have to need the intervention of our elected officials to help in that case. But I like the idea of the formation of a bid. Are we there yet back there? I mean, I don't know how much you want to go into this discussion. I mean, I guess we need to and try to hash out a lot of this out tonight so that we can move this, you know, to.
Well, the question is, do we want to make that? We went over all of these. The questions now is, do we want to make it what number in priority do we want to make it?
I see. There are two, right? There are two related to the Kingsbridge Armory, right? That Eric, they were under what, housing?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we need to assign a priority number to those and then kind of like fit it in and move some of these things around.
All right.
Okay, now, number one again is the
We're not sure yet. I think we may.
funding
So
chronic
maybe top
disease.
10. Sorry, Barbara, I didn't mean to cut you
Go
off.
ahead.
No, I was saying maybe including both of them in the top 10, just to signal, how important it is to this community.
Yeah, I agree with that. Put them someplace in the top 10. We can move everything around a little bit.
And we're putting these two in the top 10.
Right.
Well, this is a capital. Capital's already
Okay,
Okay.
included, so.
and just to maybe strengthen the explanation a little bit,
Okay, so.
we have another one. Oh, there's a third one. A neighborhood plan.
Right, so this is also the Department of City Planning can do a neighborhood plan. As part of the redevelopment of the Kingsbridge Armory, the Department of City Planning should conduct a zoning and land use study of the area that will create a master plan for future neighborhood needs such as schools, job growth, housing, and commercial development.
That sounds good. Leave it.
So can I ask, is this something, is there what is the expense related to this? Is this like a, you don't
Create a
think that-
neighborhood plan,
Plan costs money,
coordination with the community.
You don't think that this is gonna happen anyway? Or-
not necessarily.
Okay, all right.
They'll have a plan for the armory, but doesn't mean they'll reach out to the community with schools and.
I'm getting the impression,
amenities.
that they're gonna be very much, they're involving the community and everything, but fine,
Yes, if you guys need to attend the workshop, they are very, very, very involving the community.
But yeah, they're involved in the community, but this is specifically to the Department of City Planning.
Right, I see Eric's point.
Okay, all right, fine.
So I say top 10.
Yeah, I would say top 3
Yeah, that's a good
because
point.
it's a neighborhood plan. Yeah.
Yeah,
This seems
right.
to encompass everything that we're talking about in some way,
right.
the other.
Schools, job,
Does
road,
Andrew want to add something here?
Is his hand up?
No, I don't know where,
No.
Andrew? You
No
there?
comment.
No
I'm
comment?
here. No.
Okay,
Okay, so maybe we can move that up.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
okay, so.
Keep going.
Okay, number
Okay, so item number 2 will have to do with the Department of Aging.
to enhance NARC programs and health services. Michelle?
I'm comfortable moving that down somewhere in the top 10.
Okay. Number 3, provide, expand, or enhance after-school programs for middle school students, grades 6 through 8. And this was something I sent over to Leuris. I think this should stay one of the top, in the top.
Yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree. Yeah, up in the top.
Right.
Okay. Number 4, other educational program requests.
Yeah, the gifted and talented, definitely.
So we're keeping that there, well, somewhere in the top 10. What I'm gonna do is the same thing I did with capital. I'm just gonna piece them together so it looks cohesive.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay,
Number 5, provide, expand, or enhance cornerstone and beacon programs.
needed.
Okay. Number 6, other educational program requests, and this was a removal.
Okay,
Eric, this was removed. So it gives us space to add one of the other top priorities.
okay.
Yes.
7, improve trash removal and cleanliness. Eddie?
This is parks. This is a parks.
Or
This is for
Barbara.
parks. Yeah.
current number of parks personnel, trash. Okay,
And this is,
yeah, they need the equipment that we mentioned there and all.
This is the one for the pick, this is for the, oh, I see, for the purchase of the broom.
Yeah, they need the equipment desperately.
Number 8, expand programs for housing inspections to correct code violations.
Absolutely.
Okay. 15. Okay, this was number 9, increase enforcement of dirty sidewalk, dirty area, failure to clean area laws. And
Well,
had a
this,
lengthy
yeah,
discussion to add other places.
yeah. We can add those, and I think it's timely because of the mayor's new initiative on sanitation. He's moving to add, like I spoke to Barbara earlier, moving to add more staff. I think they're hiring about 200 more sanitation crew members. They're going to be doing a number of things to address the connection between rat extermination and garbage. So I think it's a very timely item to go in there. It should be in the top.
I agree, Betty. I think that this should be top 5.
So we should make this a top 5.
Yeah, it's needed, much needed in our area.
Okay. Okay, then we're number 10, enhance park safety through more security staff, police or parks enforcement. Barbara?
Yes, definitely.
Number 11, improve public housing maintenance and cleanliness.
Nitro.
We have what, the Bailey houses, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I say leave it.
Okay, number 12, improve subway stations or train cleanliness, safety and maintenance. And this is for the B, D, and 4 subway lines within District 7. Andrew, your hand is up.
Go ahead. Andrew.
I'm curious if our decisions are based upon a combination of what we see and hear from the people in our community and what we see in our community, and also, maybe even more important, the actual data. I mean, sitting here thinking, you know, is enrollment in middle school going up or down? Do we really need additional schools? Are there really more rat complaints in Board 7? I think there is. You know, can we back up what we're saying with actual data? And the data is available. So I'm just curious. I just wanted to point that out.
Okay.
Well, I think this is more of, I think the wants and needs of the community. I don't think we have to be super detailed as to the data. I think the agencies know what the data is. We're just saying this is what we see, this is what's happening. And maybe next year we can probably add more data information, but we always given these crazy time constraints, and to research data and to put it in here, it's very time consuming.
Just, I don't know if we kind of take of what's going on now, right? The city's pushing the sanitation, right? Cleaning in the streets, cleaning in the subways. You know, it's something that the city has seen is a problem. You know, as far as the middle schools, the city's turned around, and between charter schools and Board of Ed, they've built quite a few elementary schools. There really hasn't been a push on middle schools, either the schools or the programs. So I think that's how we came up with that one, if I'm not mistaken.
That was the previous. Is everybody okay with that?
Mhm. Right,
Okay. Okay. 13. Support local CBOs efforts to provide or expand district marketing, branding, and promotion. Can this stay here? Does it need to be moved down?
I think.
I think we can move this down.
Yeah.
Agree.
So we'll move this. Okay. Number 14, provide or enhance rental subsidy programs.
I think that can stay.
yes, I agree.
Okay. Number 15, address traffic congestion. And this is specific to reducing traffic congestion, Mashula Parkway, Jerome, Gun Hill, Kingsbridge Road, and Fordham Road.
Well, I think that DOT has done, we have seen a lot of projects come through for a lot of these locations during the past year, Gun Hill and Mashulu
Absolutely
specifically.
right.
So should
I'm
we move
sorry.
it?
We brought those up more so because some of those intersections like Fordham and Webster, Gun Hill and Webster, University and Fordham, they're situations where they need traffic officers, and their word to us was that there was no budget for those traffic officers. I believe that was the reason for that particular item. It was more for
But this one is
availability.
specifically, this one says reducing traffic congestion. Doesn't say anything about officers.
Do you want to change it then?
The question is, do we want to move it down or keep it there?
Keep it or remove it.
No, definitely keep it.
Keep it,
But should we move it down on the list?
yes, we could.
So then we should remove Mashulu Parkway and Gun Hill Road, right?
Right,
No, I mean that bus redesign is going to be changing Gun Hill Road. Whether it's going to be better or worse, we don't know that. Right? They've only started the work. Right? They haven't done the bus stops, the protected bus stops. They tried to do the stuff that didn't need construction first. Right? The moving of lanes, the changing of some of the bus stops. That work has proceeded, but there's still some stuff that needed the construction that was going to cost money and take time to do. That stuff they didn't do yet.
Andrew?
Yeah, I just wanted to add traffic congestion and pedestrian safety. So I think it should read, as development continues to increase in the district, traffic congestion and pedestrian safety have become an ever-increasing area of concern. So not
Yeah.
just traffic, link
Mm-hmm.
as a
Mhm.
result of congestion. I just
Yeah.
think it makes sounds better.
I like
Yeah,
that,
definitely, that sounds a lot better.
right. We've had a lot of accidents involving pedestrians.
Okay, next one. So we're okay with moving this a little bit down,
Yes,
Yes.
okay? Number 16.
all right, we need a gardener and maintenance personnel for Marshall Parkway, St. James and DeVoe. We have green spaces and we would like them to be cultivated. They have one over at Williamsbridge Oval and the area looks lovely, so the rest of our parks are in need of the same type of services.
Okay, so we're keeping it there?
I have no problem with it staying there.
Okay. 17, provide new bus service or select bus service. A new select bus service line from the Fordham Road area to LaGuardia Airport.
I think we can move this down.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so too.
Right, I can't. The tablets of the Zoom throw me off. Because I have to move them around. Okay, next one.
All right, we're trying to get a playground associate for recreation programs at DeVoe. Needed for that end of the district.
19, invest in financial incentives and low-cost financing for job creation and retention. We're okay
Needed.
with this? Okay.
Okay.
20, support local CBO's efforts to provide or expand district marketing branding. I thought we saw this already.
Yes, we did
Yes.
see something like this. Can we combine them?
I think it's the
Yeah.
same request.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
okay.
it's the same request. So this is a removal.
I will keep this one because I think the other one had to do more with the PPP loans. I kind of like what this says.
Well, level ever to provide to District 1, okay, so keep that.
And then
Eliminate-
you can remove for the other one.
Okay.
That was numbered, I'll tell you right now.
While you're looking, I added in the chat, I went and checked the, our CB7 community profile that has data. So if you want to insert numbers in any, where it's needed, there are numbers there.
Number 13, Jahira, you can remove.
Ah,
And we'll keep 21.
Okay. And 20.
20.
Okay, the clean catch basins, Betty, you have.
right, yeah, we, and this is also being addressed with the mayor's initiative as well. So I think it's really important. It doesn't have to be a top 10, but it should, it's an important one. I want to keep it in there, I don't know.
Top 20?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's 21 it's 21 right now.
Okay, fine, that's fine. You can.
Well, we just got rid of, 1 or 2, so as long
Yeah.
as I put in the top
We
20.
can move it up, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Expand subway service frequency or hours of operation.
Yes, we're getting a much larger population in the area with all these buildings going up, and it's certainly needed.
So we're keeping. Okay. 19, number 23, improve traffic and pedestrian safety, including traffic calming. Says, please contact the Borough Commissioner's Office for traffic calming device requests.
What is a traffic calming device? Anybody, I don't know what that is. Is that what that is?
Andrew?
So a traffic calming device would be like bollards, those plastic like
Oh.
poles that
Oh,
around
or,
Also-
along Jerome Avenue. They extend the sidewalk to go to the bus stop. That's
got it,
considered
got it.
all of those stop signs, those speed limit signs,
Speed bumps, things like, oh, got
traffic,
it.
to
Got it,
calm
Also
the traffic.
The timing and sequencing of the red lights, green lights, and the walks and don't walks.
Okay.
Yeah, but this was specific to where for me, I remember this one from University Heights. I am happy to report that they actually painted the lines on the floor on that side of University Heights towards the Metro North, so you can clearly see pedestrian walkways painted
Oh,
on the floor. So they are doing the work.
good.
So
Is
I'm
it is there something, because this is specific to 207, is there any other areas in in our community board where we need to address this issue as well?
Well,
Or-
Fordham and Sedgwick.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a Fordham and Sedgwick.
well, I
Fordham
think,
and Sedgwick and Fordham and University.
but I think
A
it's
lot of
coming
cars,
up. It's Chad, I think it's coming up because they just did by the Deegan. So I think they're working their way up. It's
They're
just
doing it now anyway?
getting out anyway.
Well, the work that was being done there, that was just replacement of worn out lines, because there was so many cars and so much stuff going on down there. Those lines just disappeared. So a lot of that was just replacement of lines. It wasn't like they added the lines. The lines were supposed to be there. It was just a matter of painting them.
Which is good because
I remember correctly.
they were disappeared for years, over 20 years. So I don't know, I'm okay removing it and putting something else in its place.
I don't feel safe removing something for pedestrian safety, because remember, there were a lot more issues over there, right? The fact that there were no crosswalks down at the Major Deegan, because the only crosswalk was further up, right? Before you even get to BBQs. There was no crosswalk after that intersection to the train station.
There still isn't, but they did the sidewalks. The sidewalks are done. And so are the lines on that side.
And
Okay,
didn't they also change the lighting sequence?
They changed the lighting sequence on the south part.
Yes.
What about the traffic agents? Anything there?
No,
No?
I haven't seen that.
No, normally NYPD will either be on the turn when you get into the Deegan or sometimes on the bridge, right before the bridge.
But that's to catch the people making the illegal left turn from the second lane.
I'm reading this and this is, I only see personnel as the last sentence, the presence of traffic agents. Is that what we're asking for? Funding for that? I'm trying to understand what we're asking for. Here, traffic on the highway, unsafe to navigate, okay. So what are we asking for? Traffic agents?
And traffic calming, according to the request above.
I don't see the traffic calming in the actual explanation, but that's fine, I know. Okay. I see the explanation, but I don't, okay, I'll let it go with that.
I think the point is not the traffic calming. I think the point is that to improve traffic and pedestrian safety in this location.
Mhm.
That including traffic calming is just part of the request that's
No,
listed.
that I understand, yeah, I
Thank you.
understand that. But then I see the explanation of what we're asking for at the last sentence is, seems like the request is for the presence of traffic agents will discourage motorists, and that should be a motorists should be plural, motorists from violating traffic rules. Okay.
Andrew, you have your hand up?
Keeps it up.
Yeah, just So just to like move things along, just in general, like a general guideline, when we come up to an issue, say education or crime, whatever, that we kind of defer to the input of the chairperson of the committee and kind of like move on. I'm not saying we can't discuss things, but I think we should, you know, defer to the committee. That's really what they're there for. Thank you.
All right. Do we keep this, Edgar?
Yeah, like I said, I don't feel comfortable removing it.
Okay, then let's keep it.
Because a lot of people still get hurt down there. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
I agree.
All they did was replace what was already there. They haven't really made an improvement per se, right? Those
Right.
cops are always around that corner, because when you make that left turn from the second lane instead of the first lane, the turning lane, they're here to give out tickets, and those are cops from the 5-0, not from the 5-2.
So let's keep it.
Okay, all I'm just suggesting, the last sentence, it should read, the presence of traffic agents will discourage motorists. Make that a plural.
Right.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
And I think this is something that definitely needs to be brought up in the committee.
All right, agree. Okay, number 24, increased enforcement of canine waste laws.
Yes,
I'll leave
yes.
it in there. We'll leave it in there. It's
Please.
frustrating, but leave it in there.
Okay, I believe these were two that were
Being removed.
Taken out.
removed, right, Betty?
Yeah, fine.
So these were removals.
Yeah, these are handled through, there's, the sanitation department has programs for this.
27, other community boards, facility and staff requests. Provide additional funding for community boards to fulfill charter mandate responsibilities. We're requesting that the city increase community boards budget to $350,000 to properly serve the district's growing population.
Fine, leave it there.
28, animal and pest control requests, including reducing rat and mosquito populations.
Can we move that up, please, to like top 5?
Yep. Cool, I like that.
Okay, this one was being removed. Number 29.
Yeah.
And 30. Inspect fire hydrants at specific locations and repair replace as needed.
Yeah, keep that.
Keep it,
Where are
okay.
we at? We're in the top. This is, what would that be? That would be number 30?
30.
And it be moved up a little bit? I mean, it's a pipe dream, but, and it can be moved up. I'd like to see it moved up a little bit.
Okay. Number 31, expand code enforcement. And the response that we got back, this is not a budget request.
Yeah, so we changed that. We did change this. Because the original request was assign additional building inspectors,
Right?
and now we changed it to expand code enforcement.
Okay.
So,
So the request has been changed, but the explanation remains the same.
Okay. For 32, we're moving, correct?
Yes.
Number 33, provide, expand, or enhance rental assistance programs, vouchers for permanent housing.
Didn't we have something about vouchers earlier?
Yeah, why does this seem repetitive?
Yeah, it seems like we're asking for it twice.
Can we please move that to top 20?
But I believe we have it already.
Somewhere in there. Select bus. Traffic. Garden. Is this it?
Is number 14.
14?
The
Okay.
lack of affordable housing, section H, Number 14 has to do with Section A vouchers
Right.
towards HPD. And this one has to do prevent homelessness. Additional funding is needed to maintain living with rental.
What's the
And
difference?
this is a different agency.
Prevent homeless.
Human resources. And the other is HPD.
Right, one specific to Section A. Number 14 is specific to Section A.
So what does this do? We have to, in the explanation, is to prevent homelessness. Okay, we need to change that to homelessness. Additional funding is needed to maintain people living in their homes with rent. So what's the difference? Rent assistance and vouchers? Is that would be with rent assistance and vouchers? Living in their homes with rent assistance? It says our vouchers, so I think I don't know what that.
Yeah, I don't know where, I don't recall, but it is HRA, which is under my committee. From what I'm reading, I think that this is outside of Section 8. I don't know of very many voucher programs outside of Section 8. Andrew, maybe you do. And if we could add some specificity, I think that would be great.
Yeah, because there's the supportive housing vouchers also that go for the previously homeless to try to help them become apartment renters, right?
Right. So under HRA in the homeless prevention programs for HRA, this is the request exactly. Provide, expand, or enhance rental assistance programs voucher for permanent housing.
Right. Okay. Is that the same request for the Section 8?
No,
No, Betty, it's
they're
different.
different agencies.
Got it.
Right,
So
and
can we just, if we're going to keep this just for the purposes of typos and grammar, prevent homelessness, additional funding is needed to maintain people living in their homes with rent assistance. Should that be and or vouchers?
Yeah,
I think, yeah, I think so.
and
All right.
And then, yeah, take out the U from the our.
Right.
Yep. Perfect. I do think we should move this up though to top 20.
I think this should be behind the other one.
right.
Right. Put
That
them-
makes sense to me.
Yeah, put them next.
Should be, they should be back to back because
Got
it relates to each other.
Okay.
This would be number 8. I think that should be number 9.
But doesn't that contradict the wanting of middle income
You think?
vouchers?
It should be after 14.
14?
Mhm.
I don't think it contradicts it because, I mean, we want to avoid homelessness. So this is targeting low income folks. But, you know, as we know, folks can fall, it's relative, right? Like folks can fall in that, like through all incomes.
No, the only reason why I say that is because also HPD has included that as part of the number, right? When they try to do these middle income and these housing projects, right? They ask that a few apartments be held for those previously homeless, specifically.
Right, they do, but in order for them to get those apartments, they need those vouchers.
Okay.
From HRA.
Okay. All right, we done with, we're not, okay, we're back on.
No, I think we're done because everything else.
Almost. That was the last one, Yahira?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember, we took out some stuff, you know, we had put in, and then I know for specifically, I removed some new items. I took them out and I figured we'll figure a different way of addressing. They're not really budget requests, so I took those out. This is a little cleaner.
Well, all of these are new. These one that HTIs and HIV AIDS program, that's new. That needs to be added. And the following one too.
okay.
So Michelle, these are yours. Do you have-
So I would ask for the provide more information and services related to STIs, HIV and AIDS and family planning to be in the top 10. I would ask for the mental health to be in top 5.
Definitely.
If you could continue scrolling, that's so helpful. Thank you. Yeah, substance abuse and encourage treatment, top 10 as well. Seniors, top 15. Home delivered meals, top 10. Street outreach, top 15. Food assistance programs, top 10.
Good.
I think we decided not to go forward with that one, the garbage receptacles.
That's correct.
Okay,
Betty,
thank y'all.
Betty, we said top 5, top 20, hire additional traffic enforcement agents.
Definitely needed.
Betty, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Sorry, yes, I'm sorry.
Right, I'm muted because I didn't put that in.
I did.
Okay.
This has more to do with the whole issue of getting cars to move when and to enforce, you know, get on the case of cars that are double parked or don't move when they're trying to get the mechanical brooms to come down the street.
Right, like also for traffic enforcement about the trucks being parked on the street. There's a lot of issues that need to be faced, but
Wanna throw
I would
all
do
in
that.
there?
Yeah, I like that one. We need it.
Do we want to, I mean, this is tackling this particular problem. Edgar, you're raising another concern?
No, I'm saying the traffic enforcement agents are the ones we need to be able to do stuff like that, right? Because they're saying that there's not enough officers.
Got it.
that They have other duties that they've got to do. So they don't
Yeah.
have time to walk down Jerome, walk down Webster, walk down Gun Hill Road and ticket these trucks or try to get these trucks moved. So by the adding of agents, whether they're tow truck drivers, whatever facility they make or are in the DOT, in the traffic, they need more people to do that type of work. Because they
Right.
say that when they come after the trucks, we only have so many tow truck drivers. That means they need more personnel.
Got it. So these are the people who walk down the street giving tickets for whatever it is. It is, and it's also to free up NYPD officers to, handle more serious crime
I
related.
think this needs to be at the bottom, under the top 25.
Okay, all right.
Just, I don't want to hear
In my
complaints
opinion.
about the trucks being parked on Jerome. That's all.
Replace the word cars with vehicles.
Okay, good idea. Parked vehicles, okay. This would include trucks as well.
On the top also.
Cars should be, vehicles
Vehicles
must be moved.
removed. Okay. What is it? Okay,
Well, I'm not saying top 25, I'm saying like below the top 25.
just below, like 26.
Yeah. In my opinion.
Okay, I'm losing it.
Animal pest control. We had this.
Yeah, this was already, it's already.
That's a capital. Find priority in capital.
Right, this is the budget for the animal care center.
Yeah.
This one we said remove.
Mhm.
And then other NYPD staff sources at civilian position at each precinct investigate animal cruelty complaints.
Yes. Add that someplace, make it up there.
Because you don't, anywhere, as long as we just have it here, doesn't matter where, but.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, parks,
The use of the word vermin and rats. Rats are vermin,
Mm-hmm.
so
So are mice, so are cockroaches, right? No?
termites, bed bugs, ferrets, stoats, I don't even know what that is. Stables.
Anything we don't like is a vermin.
I'm just saying, I think, remove just the word rat, vermin.
Where is that word, and in which one? Animal pest control? Oh, I see. Increase, I think we're talking about rats, though.
Oh,
So take out vermin and just leave rats. I mean, we're dealing with the issue of rats,
And other vermin,
Okay,
Yeah,
fine,
that's
all
good.
right.
parks. Capital. Barbara, you had,
Yes. Remove dead trees and plant new trees in the empty pits throughout Community Board 7. Forestry is very slow to do anything, and it's needed.
okay. No preference as to where, correct?
No, throughout Community Board 7.
No, but in the priority, doesn't matter as long as it's listed.
No, wherever, just get it in.
Okay. And then housing, Eric?
Regarding the trees, shouldn't we be saying train and hire forestry personnel to take better
Additional-
care, something like that?
Yeah,
No, this is to plant new trees. We already had the personnel
right,
added in capital, and we've had it in other expenses.
right. We need the trees now in our area.
Okay, we did housing, and last but not least is, I'm sorry, veterans.
We actually had 2 in education, Jaharda. 2 expenses.
Yeah, the beacon we already had. We looked it over.
No, this ones that had to do with addition of more public safety officers. On the top, on the top. Hired additional school safety agents.
Is Larry still on?
No, he had to leave.
You left.
Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, kind of on the, that, some people, and I don't know, that's why I would defer to the education committee. They are concerned that our schools are like prisons. The kids feel like they're like entering a prison every day. They go in through metal detectors, and they have all these uniformed officers watching them, and they're released, from prison at the end of the day. I'm just bringing that up because I've seen it on TV, and I don't know how big an issue that is, but maybe the education committee can address that.
Chad? Chad, you had your hand up?
Chad,
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear
now
you.
we can.
Okay, now I'm on two devices. Yeah, so this was something that I had suggested because some of this, what's happening is that there is a citywide shortage on safety agents, not just relegated to the Bronx. And some of the schools, including 86 and 8, they don't have any more than 2 officers, and they have many exit entrances. So some of the PAs have expressed concern over trying to get more officers, and some of the principals are on board if the opportunity presents itself. So that's where that originated from.
Are there incidents at these schools that would require more safety agents at these schools?
Some of them, I'm sorry, go ahead, Barbara.
I was just going to say, I know there was an incident last spring at PSA. Chad, anything about 86?
Yeah, well, I can tell you as far as 86 is concerned, 86 has about 1,400 students, about 8 exits, many which one guard cannot man. And I know 2 guards are going to retire this year. So that's going to put them at a loss, even below the numbers that they had before. One person is retiring and the other got promoted.
And they won't be replaced?
Well, the question is, how soon will they be replaced, and will we get officers that will stay?
Okay.
Because the problem is, even we can ask for replacements, but if the academy isn't graduating enough folks in the school safety officer program, we're not going to be able to have any replacements.
I hear Andrew's concern, and we don't want our schools to be jails. We want a place where the kids feel safe, that they feel that these individuals are there to protect them, and not not be there to police them, so to speak. So it's a fine line, since we have a large population of children of color in our schools. So I was only.
I understand.
I
understand.
So it's it's a bit of this and a bit of that, that kind of stuff. So
Can we word it so that it concentrates on the younger groups, younger schools?
is that what we're looking for? Well, PS8 and PS86 are elementary schools, right?
Preschools, yeah,
It goes up to 6th grade.
Okay.
okay.
How about adding a sensitive to the needs of each individual school?
Mhm.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, where do you want to put them? Where do you want to put that?
Well, here we're talking about adding 650, which I presume is for the city or for the,
For the city.
that's for the city?
That's for the city.
Okay.
So even if they fill those vacancies, there will still be a void because of the turnover.
So many schools like, such as PSA 6, PSA and others have between two, yet some schools have multiple buildings and all schools, many that remain unguarded due to low numbers of officers. Andrew, what was it that you had said? Can you repeat what you had suggested, the language?
Something sensitive to the needs of the school. Andrew?
So do we need to state the 650, or do we say something more specific to CB7 or?
Yeah, I think it should be CB7. I mean,
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so what was it we say that we should say that adding additional officers, what was it you had said? I'm sorry, I didn't.
sensitive to the needs of each individual school.
School. Yeah, that sounds good. So take out the
Adding the 650.
50, yeah. We're adding,
Oh, but you gotta remember, the request comes from what we're given. So,
The request says additional assigned to our district. So we want to take out.
The request is hired additional school safety agents. That's the request.
Addition.
so this goes away.
So is it higher? That's the request, higher additional? Okay, got it. I see. Okay,
Because it falls under NYPD.
got it. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
remember, the request is specific to that format that we're given by the city.
Got it. Yeah, understand. So we want to then, in the explanation, then take out the addition of 650, whatever,
And
and
this,
put in something about additional agents. We are requesting,
I kind of think the explanation is needed so that there's context.
no,
That's
that's
just my
fine.
opinion.
No,
no,
that's
but-
fine.
yeah, but we want to make the explanation specific to CB7.
And we
Yes.
want to be able to,
Position si-
provide the sensitivity
officers,
issue about.
within our
CB7
district,
school.
community or our district,
Yeah,
because we're making it broad to the city.
yeah.
We want to make it specific to us.
yes, that's needed.
You see what I mean? Like, if we're taking out 650 because that's citywide, then the shortage, we're asking the explanation of shortage because in our district, we don't have enough.
Right. And
Got you.
yeah,
Got you.
probably every community board would probably do the same thing, so.
Yeah.
But we want to say something about being, maybe it's the additional agents, it's almost like commensurate or with the needs of the school, that the school will make the determination. I mean, I don't know how this is done. I don't know if there's a
I would put the
consultation.
last line, just hire additional safety officers sensitive to the needs of each individual school.
Okay, all right. So then hire additional school safety agents sensitive to the needs of each individual school. Right, okay.
How about this? Because that's already that's already the request.
I need to
Um,
ensure, students feel safe or protected or something like that, where it's not, we're not policing the kids, we are protecting the kids.
School safety officers should be assigned sensitive to the needs of each individual school.
No,
But look, we want to
Safety-
hire, it's a school safety
be a-
officers.
Yeah, and once they're hired, they should be assigned sensitive to each individual school. Some schools want them, some schools don't. Some schools need them and they don't want them. some schools want them and they don't need them, so that's,
I think we're getting way too technical
Yes,
in,
yes.
in something that it's already like within the explanation. I don't think we need to add anything more because we're already saying that the shortage is within our district. So
Right.
I don't think we need to go into sensitivities. I don't think we need to go into that. If it's a request that's given, if it's an expense that's approved and given, it's gonna be given to all the schools within the district. Regardless of whether we put specific PS 86 or PS 8, all the schools will get the same.
Okay.
I mean, that's my thought process.
We don't wanna
I'm
be-
sorry, I missed the last thing you said, Yahira.
No, I said, if this expense gets approved, I don't think it's just gonna be specific to PS 86 or PS 8. I think it's gonna be within all the schools, all the public schools within CB7.
So then that means each school would have to determine their need.
Yeah, but that's
worry-
what we're
I wouldn't
saying.
worry about
There's
that.
a short, that's what we're saying. There's a shortage of public school safety officers within our district.
Got you.
Okay. I would leave it just as is now
Yeah,
to move on.
that's fine. That's fine.
Good.
Okay, then we have other educational programs requests. We asked Leotis for clarification.
Okay, he's not on.
I don't think we received anything, right?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything. Did you, Eric?
No.
Okay. We said this was already an item.
Hold on, Yahira, can I read that last sentence real quick?
Sure.
How many- Ordinance of the company. Yeah, I'm guessing this is, I'm guessing this is to make more communities aware of the programs.
Yeah, this is
I
definitely.
don't have, yeah, I don't have any further detail on that.
that, the word disposal is very awkward. Early child education that are available to their needs, their disposal, just, I don't know, just,
Yeah, I think we need to leave this one out and then circle back for next year.
Okay,
Which one? I'm sorry, I'm reading something that was sent from the Norwood News regarding the school safety agent stuff, so I'm a little lost here. You go back. Sorry.
Okay, I think that's it, Jahida.
okay, because everything else was already
Yeah.
there. We did veterans, we went over.
But veterans doesn't have any budget expense, capital.
Okay, so we're done. Now it's just a matter of putting, we did the capital, so everybody has the capital.
Right,
Now we're gonna put the expense together and hopefully it'll be so everybody can vote on it tomorrow at the public hearing.
Don't we have to?
Wait, you need to vote on it right now,
We
tonight.
have to vote on it tonight. the
Right.
cooking.
the changes, yes.
Yes, thank you, Betty.
You're welcome.
Okay, so do we want to put up a motion?
Yeah, let's just make sure everything is in place.
But I don't think Jahida has time to like edit everything right now, but if we can just say as discussed,
This will be ready for the public for tomorrow, right?
yes.
I guess Jahira's gonna have a double espresso.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept the changes in the form of
Move.
additions or deletions that were presented tonight?
I move to accept all the changes on the expense reports as discussed in our meeting.
Okay, do we have a second for that?
I'll
I
second.
second.
Okay. All right, I can't put my
Oh, let me-
attendance up. Okay, that's good. I'll do that. Let me see if I can find it again. Okay. All right, I will put that up. All right, is there any discussion on the motion before we vote? Questions? I see a hand, Chad.
No, I don't have my device in front of me. Disregard it.
Okay, Andrew?
Maybe this is a little technical, but can we add language that we can review the grammar and make necessary changes to the grammar, not the substance of the, or is it too late? This has to be exactly,
No, I
Word
think
for-
when it's completed that, it will have the correct grammar. That's not changing what we're requesting.
Well, tomorrow, I mean, this will be at the public hearing. If anybody has any changes to the grammar or the way things sound, then we take it from there. But as of right now, we're just voting on the.
The
priority-
contents.
Yeah, the priority change.
Content,
that we
right.
made.
And the priorities.
And don't we,
Got
a
it.
lot of times, if people, let's say other board members look at it and think, have some issues with grammar, we can make those minor changes at that point.
Grammar can be made at any point. Grammar
any
changes can be
point.
made at any
Right.
point.
Okay,
I don't think we need a motion for that or,
No motion is needed for
No.
grammar changes.
okay. All right, any other questions or concerns before we vote? All right. Barbara Stronza votes yes on the changes. Eric Asensio,
Eric Asensio votes yes to accept the
Thank you.
change.
Betty Arce,
Betty R.C. votes yes on the changes.
Yahira,
Hira Arias votes yes on the changes.
thank you. Michelle,
We
are
lost-
you on?
I think we lost her. I'm not sure.
Well, we may have. All right, Andrew,
Andrew Leosa supports the motion.
thank you. Edgar Ramos,
Edgar Ramos supports the motion.
thank you. Maurice Acosta,
Left.
left, okay, thank you. Chad Royer,
I vote yes, Chad Royer.
and I think Victor Saldana joined us. Victor? Are you on, Victor? No,
He's muted.
okay. Victor? He may be driving. No? Okay.
Yes, I vote yes on the motion.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you, Victor. All right, motion carries. All right, before we move on, could someone very quickly tell me how this is going to be presented at 5 o'clock?
We need someone, yes.
Is Andrew going to do it as chair of the committee, or will it be Eric and Yahira? What are you planning to do? And are you reading through everything?
I
I think
cannot,
Andrew's is gonna do it as last year.
I
Andrew?
will do what everybody wants me to do or not do, no problem.
All right, Andrew is doing it then?
Reluctant chair.
Okay, and Andrew, you will be reading through the capital budget first and the expense?
Yes,
Okay, and you're starting at 5?
Right, that's the
Okay.
public hearing, fine.
Yes, yes.
5 o'clock. yeah.
And comments from the public? Where will they be fitting in?
that staff has to run it from Zoom and allow for comments?
In the chat or,
So
I don't know.
I'm sorry, if Andrew is doing this, he doesn't have to, do you have the capability to share your screen, Andrew, or you're going to need someone to do that? This has to be shared. The screen has to be shared.
So, Jade and I will be at the public hearing and we will be
Okay.
taking notes from the chat and verbal comments and just any comments from the public.
okay,
And what about the sharing of the screen? That will be done from your end, Carla?
Yes, we can
Oh.
definitely assist with that as well.
okay, that's good. All right,
Okay.
that's good. You'll have helpers there, Andrew. All right, any other concerns that you would like to bring up regarding this budget for tomorrow night? All right, our next.
Before we go,
Yes,
Barbara.
oh, I see Chad's hand up. Go ahead, Chad.
No, my hand is not up.
Oh, well, it is
is
on my
online.
screen.
Yeah, I can't find my iPad.
Oh,
So don't
okay.
disregard it. It's
Oh,
somewhere in the
okay.
house.
Okay, no
I just
problem.
want to say something.
Yes, go ahead, Johanna.
Andrew, do you prefer the document in Word like I did for the capital?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so I'll do that tonight.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
So, I'm sorry, so tomorrow we will be doing this as well as have the elections, correct?
Well, this will be in at a public session at 5, and then the regular meeting will be at 6:30.
Okay.
So whatever time we get to the election will be, part of the meeting, because there again, there'll be another public session at 6:30,
Correct,
not for the budget.
right.
Okay,
And you will receive an email from Jade with the Google form and your 6-digit number so you can vote. And voting will close before attendance is taken at the general board meeting.
before attendance?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so,
So you should receive individual emails from Jade at around between 9 and 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
okay, now, we are going to let the candidates speak for a minute or two.
Mhm.
So that will go on before attendance also. And before we vote.
Right.
All right, so you put it up early on the agenda, Carla?
Yes, I believe so. I can
Okay. Okay,
I
all right,
think-
I don't have the date for our next executive committee meeting, but I'm sure it'll be sent out to you shortly. Any other concerns that anyone would like to bring up? All right,
No, it's just,
sound tired, Betty.
no,
Do we
I'm
have
just not.
such a
little-
sigh?
Let me
All
mute
right.
myself.
Okay, do we have a motion to close the meeting?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
All right, do we have a second?
Second,
All right, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, and special thank you to Yahira and Eric for all their work on this budget. All right, good night, everybody.
Thank you.